Hey guys, Siren here, and welcome back to Lake of Voices. Let's continue on with our story, shall we? The guide's figure disappears, with only his lantern to lead the way. Bamel is finally forced to leave us behind and catch up with him. I watch him disappear into the fog, an odd feeling in the pit of my stomach. I cannot recall the last time I had difficulty seeing someone leave. You should go after them. I start. I almost forgot the man was there, standing right next to me. Now he looks at me with desperate eyes. You don't need to do this. What? I'd rather know you returned to them safe, and that you all had a chance to make it back together. The way they acted, having to go on without you, no one would feel that way for me. I'm not worth it. That's not... I stop, unable to say the last word. Can I claim that he's wrong? This is the one thing he has seemed sure of, and I don't know him. Empathy platitudes may be worse than nothing at all. He smirks at my mumbling reply. I'm caught off guard by the change. With only that I seem he's in his element. It's true. He continues to grin, more so to himself than to me. You lot certainly made a scene, huh? That's nice being loved and all. He clarifies after I must have given him an undesired reaction to the statement. I am so disconnected with myself. I am unsure if surprise appeared on my face, or if it was lack of emotion that put him off. I don't know exactly what kind of love it is you share, but there has to be a bond in that group of yours. I mean, especially with the big one. You wouldn't look at anyone like that. He laughs, then speaks quietly. It doesn't matter. I can still try for the other shore. Go. My certainty shocks him. I can tell immediately he has returned to his meeker self. The man starts to speak again, but I interrupt. We should start walking. That should be enough of a head to start for them. He hesitates a moment, but ultimately begins walking at my side. I'm relieved. I can never be quite sure what will come from this one. We move in silence. The man doesn't seem to want to speak anymore, but keeps glancing at me, as if expecting something. Somehow his odd behavior is comforting, and rather than disorienting, perhaps it's because he's more nervous about this than I am. More nervous about all this than I am. It's putting me at ease, making me feel more capable. I shouldn't allow myself to get comfortable. However, we're in a more dangerous position than ever. The whispering from the lake, so faint after Bamel's close call, now surges forth. It grows nigh, unbearable. The creatures teeming below the surface. I dare not speculate on what has them so excited. Have you a name? The man chuckles, dryly. Barely. I don't really know what I am to take form of that. This time his laugh is more than a bark, quickly out and swallowed back up. Then he frowns. Lou. Only 2 letters, so barely. I see. What are you doing out here without a guide? Perhaps the question isn't appropriate to ask after all. Only the darkest of circumstances spurs someone to cross the Knolls. But this situation is very strange. I might even go so far as to say it's suspicious. I know that's not fair, but I can't help it. Years spent anticipating danger have made me wary. That's a good question. I'm not sure I know myself. It's a fun little name. Lou. That's kind of cool. He definitely looks like a Lou. What does that mean? Is that some sort of joke, too, or do you generally not remember how you arrived where you are? No, it wasn't a joke. Or, well, there is a point to it all. Then his voice, already by nature light and airy, drops to a whisper. But I don't know why I even tried. You think that I'd be able to call a spade already, right? Ha! He looks up, noticing my gaze still leveled at him. Then he shrugs. I'd rather not talk about it. As what has become the norm, I don't fully understand what he means, but I can at least guess that he's not very happy with himself at present. And like it or not, he won't be sharing his real reasons with me. What about you? What brings you out on this little adventure? People on the other side, people who need my help. You have someone waiting on you? Then why are you risking yourself on me instead of worrying about what's going to happen to them? I feel my brows furrow from my speck of alarm. Is that really what he took from this? I survey his face with a flicker of my eyes, but there is no mischievous gleam in his look now. He's serious. We hold eye contact for a moment until he, yet again, stares down at the ground. Sorry, I didn't mean to be disrespectful. It just fell out somehow. I wasn't thinking. His stare shoots back up at me, eyes wide. Of course, I'm going to be there for those counting on me, but you aren't nothing. I wouldn't simply turn my back on you. He smiles sadly, the kind of smile only someone who has experienced great hardship has. A smile I'm all too familiar with. I'd probably have to disagree. Still, that's nice of you to say. We may not know each other well, but you wanted us to go on without you, for our own safety. You even tried to have a sense of humor about it. That counts for something.